Thank you so much for doing this.
That's no problem.
I guess the real question, first of all, is can you give us an update on your legal troubles?
Well, as far as my legal situation, I'm basically dealing with things of a civil matter now, such as my compensation, which I think a bill has been passed that will resolve that issue. It hasn't been signed by Governor Perry at the time, but I'm optimistic that he will sign it into law, which will allow me to receive the compensation. And another thing I've been doing is I've been trying to get the Attorney General's office to declare my actual innocence so that I can have something of a decree that states that I am actually innocent and not the case just didn't have no evidence. So that I went to court Thursday for that, and we're waiting on the judge to rule whether or not they have jurisdiction to bring forth this claim. So that's my legal issues right now, is that I'm trying to get the Attorney General's office to declare me actually innocent, since the special prosecutor has done so herself, and also signed an affidavit saying my actual innocence. Now we're just trying to get the state to acknowledge it so that I can, I guess that's one step forward toward trying to get my record expunged.
Right.
So those are my legal issues right now.
Now, of course, the Texas Attorney General's office, that's Greg Abbott, and you did file suit against them earlier this year. Is that correct?
I filed a lawsuit against the Attorney General's office,
right,
asking them again to declare me actually innocent,
right,
in some form, so that I can have some paperwork to show.
And that specifically was because the Texas Comptroller, Susan Combs, said that she wouldn't allow compensation because there was no piece of paper. Is that right?
Yes,
do I have all that
the
right?
piece of paper that was the order, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Only said that there was no evidence. It didn't say that the two magical words, actual innocence, although it was spoken publicly by the special prosecutor that dismissed the charges.
Right.
So it's been wordplay,
yeah,
that they have used to deny me compensation up to this point.
Well, I've seen in the past that Governor Rick Perry has said that this was a great injustice and that he would do anything he could to try and make it right.
Yeah, well, he definitely came out in support of my actual innocence. Now we'll just see if he's going to keep to his word and sign this amended piece of legislation into law so that I can receive my compensation.
Mm-hmm.
It's on his desk as we speak, so we'll see. Maybe next week.
Of course, this is going to air on Monday, which is Memorial Day here in Houston at KPFT 90.1 FM, so we're definitely keeping our fingers crossed on that. Do you feel that...
I need all the support I can get in one tough fight with Texas, even when Texas acknowledges its wrongdoing. It still has a hard time just, doing the right thing afterwards. So everything has been a fight for me with Texas, but I'm still fighting. And before it's all over with, I will receive justice.
Why do you think this is happening?
Well, I mean, for many different reasons. But here you living in a state that believes in the death penalty, and it's a state that's hard pressed to show any infallibility toward this death penalty. Mm-hmm. They want us to think that it's infallible, that they don't make mistakes with the death penalty, because to acknowledge and to just admit mistakes is to question the whole death penalty system. So there's some politics involved here, a lot of politics, which is really a big problem in our system. Is this whole election process we have going on. So, but that's another story.
Right.
I think for, as I say, many reasons, but mainly politics. Politics is a big part of our system.
Now, of course, you were released in October of 2010 after 18 years as a condemned man on Texas death row. Can you actually talk about your experience in jail for us for a little?
Well, my experiences were a nightmare, totally. And I can tell you now from sitting down there on death row that the guys that's waking up every day down there today is still going through a nightmare. It's crazy. It's crazy that we, as human beings, can customize a system and design it to treat people less than human. I mean, it really says something about us as a people, and the priority we put on humanity itself. It's sad. It's really sad, and it's sad that we as a citizen of the state endorse such inhumane punishment. But I can tell you, no amount of money could ever compensate for what they did to me. I was wrongfully convicted, and I had to go through unjust, inhumane, harsh treatment every day while I was on death row. And it's not right because, as I say, we are human beings. No one should experience what those guys are experiencing every day. And if anybody's out there listening that has any kind of influence, I say that what people were talking about with Abu Ghraib, the Guantanamo Bay incident where everybody was in an uproar, I'm saying you got much worse going on right there in your backyard, Texas death row. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5 times worse than any pictures that you see of Abu Ghraib. And there's no outrage, and it's really sad.
We've been hearing from different prisoner advocates that recently there's been attempts for hunger strikes to try and draw attention to the inhumane conditions there. Do you think this will be successful, or do you? Well,
it'll only be successful if it can reach the people out here and they really get concerned. But at this stage, they have to do something because it's going from bad to worse. Every time they get a new warden want to come in and just increase the intensity of the hard life that they're living. So it's going from bad to worse, and they need to do something. But I'll say this, that, if we are going to allow our system to treat citizens of the state like that, regardless of them being innocent or not, then, we have a problem. We have a problem with ourselves because we are human beings. In the 21st century, there's no way that we should be treating each other like this. This is sick. It's really sick. And I've always asked myself, who was it that woke up one morning and decided that it was okay to murder their citizens and call it justice? That person was really sick. And obviously something had happened in his family, and he was making rulings from an emotional point. And we, as a society, shouldn't be judging governing our society based on our emotions. It should be rational thinking. And when you go down the death row, you realize this is not rational thinking. This is cruel, inhumane, and criminal.
Mr. Graves, what's next for you? You've gone through so much. You've been wrongly accused. You've been wrongly incarcerated. You've come out to work with the system and to fight the system. What's next for you? You're still a relatively young man.
Next for me is that I'm just going to continue to share my story and ask people to help me abolish the death penalty. But also I want to just continue to shine a light on the cruelty that's going on down there daily. And as far as a career choice, I am now a mitigation specialist working for the Texas Defender Service, where I am now going back to work on capital murder cases. So it's my life's work now. And my goal is to abolish the death penalty.
I was actually interviewing Clarence Brantley when we got news about the passage of House Bill 417, which is the one that we've been discussing right now. Right. I wish you could have seen his face. I wish you could have seen his face. He lit up, and he specifically said, I don't even have a piece of paper. I wish I had this much, even a rejection or this is, he was very happy for you, and I wish you could have seen his face.
And I feel sorry for that brother, because that brother went through so much injustice, and he's still going through it because they're refusing to compensate this man for the wrong that they did to him and his family. Mm-hmm. And it's sad. It's really sad. And I do hope that one day he will be able to receive just compensation. I will say to that brother to keep on fighting. Don't take no for an answer because they owe you. Whatever, stay out there in front of the media. Let the people know that Texas has not paid its debt to Clarence Bradley.
Well, Mr. Graves, thank you so much. I appreciate this. I truly do.
Oh, no, thank you so much. And I'd just like to say, I received a letter from a guy. He was on death row. His name is Thomas Miller. He's at the WIN unit right now in Huntsville, Texas. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to have services every week, and they don't have anyone who can come down there to make sure that they have services. And that brother said, if anybody out there, chaplain or whoever, would like to come down there and so them guys can have service, they would definitely welcome you, because right now they're not allowed to have service without a spiritual advisor or whatever. Mm-hmm. So his name is Thomas Miller, and he's on the WIN unit, and I'm hoping that somebody out there who's listening will want to go down there and help, volunteer their time so those guys can have service.
We will broadcast it out, and I will certainly pass it on to everybody I can.
Thank you so much.